Hello, Cash and Consequences family. I'm Franklin. And before we dive deep into today's game-changing content, let me share something that fundamentally shifted my perspective on wealth 15 years ago. Here's the truth that most people refuse to accept. True wealth isn't about the money in your bank account. It's about the lifestyle you can sustain indefinitely without going broke. I've advised clients worth 8 figures who live paycheck to paycheck, and I've met bartenders in Montreal who live better than most executives in Manhattan. The difference? One group understands the psychology of wealth, while the other is trapped in the prison of their own making. Warren Buffett, who's worth over $100 billion, still lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. Meanwhile, I know lawyers making $300K annually who can't afford a week off work. Which one do you think sleeps better at night? If this resonates with you, welcome to Cash and Consequences, where we decode the real secrets of financial freedom. Hit that subscribe button if you're ready to think differently about money, and a massive thank you to our subscribers who've already joined this journey. Your engagement keeps this channel alive, and I personally read every comment from our subscribers first. Now, let's destroy some myths about what it really means to live rich. Last month, I was consulting for a tech startup in San Francisco, and the founder, let's call him Marcus, pulled up in a brand new Tesla Model S designer clothes, expensive watch, living in a $4,000 a month apartment in Soma. Classic Silicon Valley success story, right? Wrong. When we sat down to review his finances, Marcus was burning through his savings at an alarming rate. His wealthy lifestyle was funded by credit cards and the hope that his next funding round would come through. He was living like a millionaire while being technically broke. This is what I call lifestyle inflation without wealth creation, and it's epidemic in North America. I've seen it in Toronto, Vancouver, New York, and especially in LA, where appearances matter more than substance. Let's talk about the rich man's mindset shift. Here's what I learned during my 8 years managing hundreds of employees across multiple businesses. Rich people don't spend money to look rich. They spend money to buy time, freedom, and peace of mind. Let me tell you about my friend Catherine, a real estate investor from Lyon, France. She drives a 10-year-old Volkswagen, shops at regular grocery stores, and lives in a modest apartment. But here's the kicker. She owns 7 rental properties and makes more in passive income than most CEOs make actively working. Every month, while others are stressed about bills, Catherine wakes up to money that was made while she slept. The difference? Catherine thinks like an asset builder, not a consumer. The 5 pillars of living rich without millions. Pillar 1. Master the art of high-value, low-cost living. The wealthy understand arbitrage, getting maximum value for minimum cost. I learned this from a multi-millionaire client in Quebec who taught me the 80-20 rule of lifestyle. Spend 80% of your lifestyle budget on things that provide daily joy and functionality, and 20% on status or occasional luxuries. For example, invest in a great mattress, quality coffee maker, and reliable car rent, or borrow for occasional luxury experiences. Buy generic brands for items you don't care about. I remember laughing when this same millionaire showed up to a business dinner wearing a $15 shirt from Costco, but driving insights worth millions. He told me, "Franklin, my shirt doesn't make me money, but my brain does. I invest in my brain, not my wardrobe." Pillar 2. Create multiple small income streams. Rich people rarely depend on one source of income. During my 15 years as a financial advisor, I've noticed that people who feel wealthy, regardless of their net worth, typically have 3 to 5 different income sources. Take my friend David in Toronto. He's a school teacher making $65K annually, but he also tutors students online, $800 a month, sells digital courses about math, $400 a month, invests in dividend stocks, $200 a month passive, does freelance curriculum writing, $600 a month. David makes $87K total and feels richer than most people making $150K from a single job. Why? Because if one income stream disappears, he still has 4 others. That's security money can't buy. Pillar 3. Optimize for experiences over objects. Here's something that might surprise you. Millionaires spend proportionally less on material goods than middle-class people trying to look wealthy. They've learned that experiences provide lasting satisfaction while objects provide temporary highs. I consulted for a successful entrepreneur in Vancouver who sold his Ferrari and used the money to travel the world for 8 months. He told me it was the best financial decision he ever made, not because of the money saved, but because of the perspective gained. The secret? Rich people buy memories and skills, not just things. They know that a $500 cooking class might provide years of enjoyment, while a $500 gadget might gather dust in 6 months. Pillar 4. Leverage technology and systems. As a technology enthusiast who reads extensively, I've seen how the wealthy use technology to multiply their effectiveness. They don't use tech to entertain themselves. They use it to create systems that work for them. Simple examples: automatic investing apps that build wealth while you sleep, cashback credit cards for every purchase, paid off monthly, price tracking tools to buy quality items when they're discounted, skill learning platforms to increase earning potential. I know a freelance graphic designer in Paris who learned video editing through online courses during COVID lockdown. That $200 investment increased her hourly rate from $35 to $75. That's a 114% return on investment in 6 months. Pillar 5. Build your personal board of directors. The wealthiest people I know aren't necessarily the smartest. They're the best at accessing smart people. They understand that your network determines your net worth. But here's the twist. You don't need to network with millionaires to live like one. You need to find people who are excellent at different aspects of life. Someone great with investments, someone who finds amazing travel deals, someone who knows where to get quality items for less, someone who understands tax optimization, someone who prioritizes health and fitness efficiently. I learned this from a billionaire client who told me, "Franklin, I don't need to know everything. I just need to know who knows everything." The psychology of wealth creation. Let me share something controversial. Most people don't want to be rich. They want to feel superior to others. This is why they buy expensive cars they can't afford instead of investments that could make them actually wealthy. Real wealth is quiet. It's the confidence that comes from knowing you could handle a $5,000 emergency without stress. It's being able to take a week off work without financial anxiety. It's having choices when others feel trapped. I remember a conversation with a successful restaurateur in Montreal who said, "The day I realized I had made it wasn't when I bought my first expensive watch. It was when I stopped checking my bank balance before making everyday purchases." Practical implementation strategy. Here's your 90-day action plan to start living richer immediately. Days 130. Audit and optimize track every expense for 30 days. Identify your top 5 monthly costs. Find one way to get the same value for 20% less money. Start one small side income stream. Days 31-60. Build and systematize. Automate one aspect of your finances. Learn one new skill that could increase your income. Connect with 3 people who excel in areas you want to improve. Create your wealthy lifestyle budget based on your actual values. Days 61-90. Scale and refine. Launch your second income stream. Make one significant purchase that improves daily life. Plan one experience-based luxury within your means. Set up systems to maintain these changes long-term. Common mistakes to avoid. I've seen brilliant people sabotage their financial progress with these errors. The comparison trap. Trying to match someone else's lifestyle without understanding their financial situation. I know influencers who look wealthy on Instagram but share studio apartments with 3 roommates. The delayed gratification myth. Some people save so obsessively they never enjoy their money. Balance is key. You want to live well now and build wealth for later. The income solution. Fantasy. Thinking more money automatically solves lifestyle problems. I've consulted for people making $500K who felt broke because their expenses grew with their income. The compound effect of small luxuries. Here's something I learned from reading over 200 books on wealth and economics. Small, consistent luxuries often provide more life satisfaction than occasional big splurges. A client in Vancouver taught me this perfectly. Instead of buying a luxury car, he invested in weekly house cleaning service, 80-week premium gym membership with classes, $120 month, high-quality meal delivery twice a week, $150 monthly massage, $100 month. Total cost, about $600 month. Result: he gained back 8 hours per week, improved his health, and reduced daily stress. Meanwhile, his neighbor bought a BMW that cost $800 a month in payments and insurance, but added no functional value to his life. Which one do you think feels richer day to day? Let me leave you with this question that I want you to answer in the comments. If you could only choose 3 things to spend money on for the next year, what would they be and why? I'm genuinely curious about your answers, and as always, I respond to our subscribers first, so make sure you're part of the Cash and Consequences family. Remember, living rich isn't about the numbers in your bank account. It's about designing a life you love within your means, and then systematically expanding those means over time. Before you go, tell me in the comments, where are you watching this from? I love connecting with our global community. We have viewers from over 40 countries, and your diverse perspectives make this channel better. If this video shifted your perspective on wealth and lifestyle, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And if you want more content like this, hit that notification bell, because we're just getting started. Until next time, this is Franklin reminding you, your wealth isn't determined by what you earn, it's determined by what you keep, how you think, and the life you design. Stay wealthy, stay wise, and I'll see you in the next video.